All right. So we got the Season Guys podcast. Brenda, what episode are we at? Episode 15, I want to say. I think it's
Uh,
15, brother, right?
yeah, sure. I
All right, we'll
forgot.
call it 15. We'll call it 15. And we got a very special guest with us. Unbelievably special guest. Under the horizon.
Hello.
How we
And
doing?
Brendan's going to add clapping. He's going to add clapping to it as a sound effect, too. Yeah, it's getting sick. Welcome, Izzy, Matt, Jordan. How
Hello.
y'all doing?
Good. How are
Doing all
you?
right?
Doing great.
We're chilling on a fine Wednesday night. What better way to celebrate?
Right? Yeah.
Right.
It's hump day, and hump day with a bang.
Very cool. I like that. Very cool, man. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're very thankful that you can make the podcast. And I was going back and forth with your management, Michael, and I said we got to have them on the podcast. We've been bringing artists on, kind of up before Swarmy Fest, which we'll get into. But we had William from Sepsis on. And then we also had Temptress on not too long ago as well. So this is perfect timing. And, we want to have these awesome conversations and just kind of like open up discussion. So I'm going to just take a pause. I don't want to over talk here. Why don't you like introduce yourselves each and say what instrument you play in the band?
All right. I guess I'll start. I'm Jordan Sweet, rhythm and lead guitar and background vocals. So
Sweet.
I'm Matt Palmer. I play drums and I also do backup vocals.
And I'm Izzy McIntyre. I play the bass and I do lead vocals.
That's awesome. Very cool. And I love the fact that you're a trio. You don't see that much anymore. And
right.
you guys, we've played a show before together. We played with you all at the Middle East Upstairs with Scarecrow Hill. And that was a fun show. We had a lot of fun. And that was the first time we saw you guys. I mean, we've seen you online and a lot of people talking about the band, but we were blown away. And we're not just saying that because you're here. We were blown away. You guys were crazy tight. You write awesome tunes, and you had the crowd captivated. And you don't see that often in the scene. So
Right.
we're so thankful that we're able to get together and play and do more shows. And I think Jordan was walking off the stage, and I said to him, I think I saw you guys. You're on for Swarmy Fest, and he goes, "Yeah, we're playing that." I'm like, "Perfect.
Right.
This is great. This is great." And we said we're gonna try to do more shows too. But
Right. Yeah.
it's got to happen, brother. Right? It's got to happen, man.
Absolutely. I mean, dude, we're always looking for more shows. So, if it
Yeah.
happens, it happens. And we're really hoping it happens for sure.
And while on the topic, I mean, you guys are incredibly busy. I mean, I see posts all the time. You guys are playing like every day, every night, and I think that's awesome. That is so cool that you're doing that. Why don't you, I know we'll get into Swarmy Fest, but why don't you talk about like some of the dates? Like you're doing a lot around New England. Are you touring a little bit? Just chat a little bit about those shows that are coming up from under the horizon.
Well, we've been touring for the past couple months. It hasn't been like, an official like conventional tour in the sense of like, all right, we all get on a bus and we do, day after day, but for X amount of time. But we have been, as you've said, staying busy almost every weekend, multiple shows a weekend. 18 months is actually how long we've been out doing shows. So pretty much a show every weekend for 18 months. But yeah, we got a ton more coming up. We got a show up at Rumors in Biddeford on the 7th, Friday the 7th, this Friday actually, or this Friday we're recording this. Then next week we got a show at the Cannery on the 14th with 3 Degrees, who's a Maynard tribute band. They're amazing. Swarmy Fest, obviously, on the 15th. Can't wait for that. That's going to be a time. And then we got, and then 16th, both of us are actually going to New England Music Awards.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yes, yeah, we're incredibly honored to be nominated by New England Music Awards, and to be nominated along with bands that we play with all the time. Our friends Scarecrow Hill, Grey Curtain, Temptress was on there too. You guys were on there, obviously. And then on Sunday the 30th, we got a show at Alchemy. That's with Mighty Fall and Okami and a bunch of other bands. And then to end the year off, we have a show in Fall River. We're doing a combination show with a midget wrestling league. So it's metal and midget wrestling. So,
Can't go wrong with that, man.
right? Exactly. Exactly.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've noticed some of the shows you've been announcing. I did see that the Alchemy show. I see you're doing I think with Mike Karp over there. You're doing some with them at the Mighty Fall. That's cool. We know Mike. That's going to be a lot of fun. Alchemy's a great venue. We have a lot of fun there when we play there. And I also saw. I think you just also announced. I think you could talk about it, but you're playing at the Magic Room, I believe, in Norwood with Sepsis and a few other bands. I just saw that announcement. That looks like a killer show as well.
Yeah, that's another one we're looking forward to. That's gonna be Sepsis is on that show, and then Awaiting Abigail is also on that show, and Sex Coffee.
Sex Coffee.
So we're doing a whole female fronted lineup there, as we like to do.
Nice.
And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Swarmy Fest, man. I mean, are you guys ready for this?
Oh yeah.
I think it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
quick,
I'm looking
too.
forward to it. Definitely.
What was that, Brendan?
So it came up quick. I thought it was going to be like next month.
I know. It feels like we had a little bit more time to go. And then all of a sudden it's like, snap your fingers, November's here. I mean, I'm still in summer vacation mode, guys.
Right.
I don't know about y'all.
No, time flies. I mean, we always talk about it. I mean, we have so many gigs and so much stuff going on. It's hard to really sit back and be like, wow, it's actually been quite a minute, like
Yeah.
it's too wrapped up in all the gigs and stuff, But,
Yeah, life happens, man. It just
right.
snap of a finger. But Swarmy Fest is crazy. I mean, just what we're hearing. This is our first time doing it from our side, as Silent Season goes. Just the whole thing, how it's orchestrated. It's like 3 days, right? They do the Friday night acoustic VIP, like special performance for some of the folks that fly in. Saturday's the show, and then Sunday they got the pajama party late at night, and then Sunday I think like they do the brunch thing or whatever. It's crazy, man. Like they go all out. What I hear.
Right.
That's crazy, and all the bands on it. It's just an incredible lineup. I mean, you don't see shows like this that often. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely are pulling out all the stops. I think there's definitely a lot of good New England bands in there that, some people may not have heard of, some people have heard of, but I think it's overall a really good bill, and it will definitely get a lot of names out there for sure.
Yeah, definitely probably going to be one of the biggest metal shows of this year. Definitely one of the best lineups of this year for sure. And also, it's at the Jewel. We love the Jewel.
Right.
Yeah,
great venue.
Awesome venue.
Yeah, but yeah, we're looking forward to it. We've been looking forward to it all year.
Oh yeah.
Believe it or not, this is our first time playing Jewel. As long as we've been around, we've played a lot of other Manchester venues, but so we're very much looking forward to this. And I've seen pictures, and it looks like a very cool venue. And
it is.
It's
awesome.
Nice. Yeah, we're very much looking forward. It's going to be great. And like I said, we had Temptress on too, and they're looking forward to jamming with everyone. And again, your name always comes up every time we talk with people. They're like, "Oh, Under the Horizon's on the bill. This is going to be insane." And the just the crazy talent from that band, and how and they're growing into the scene and everything. So it's like the word spread, man. Like and gal, it's spreading out there, and it's just a great time to be playing in a hard rock metal band. I feel like right now, you know what I mean, in the scene.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much for saying those kind words. But yeah,
of course,
in the past, year that we've been like out in the scene will say we've had so much fun. Going out, playing all these places, meeting new people. I mean, it's the kind of stuff that we kind of like, dreamed about. And then now we're actually like, oh, wait, we're here now. We're in the scene. We're meeting these people. We're making, friends and connections in other bands and all of that. And we've really loved it. And I could not agree more that, it's a great time to be in the scene. It's a great time to, whether you're in a band or whether you're going out to shows, like if you are interested in the scene, now's a great time. There's a ton of amazing bands out there, and there's amazing shows like almost every weekend. Not only not to pat ourselves on the back, but our shows. But there's like, almost we see a bunch of flyers from a bunch of other bands of, these shows. We're like, oh my God, like if we didn't have a show, we'd totally just go see that.
Chill there, Go see it. And I also, on that point, Matt, I just want to just kind of indirectly pivot on that point. I know there's a Lane Staley tribute show coming up this Saturday night, and we have a member in our band that's also partaking in that, and he's in the top right box over here. Joe, why don't you guys share a little bit about what you know for that show and tell the listeners what's going on in that show?
It's gonna be a great time. Bunch of bands there tributing and playing music from the life of obviously the great, gone way too soon, but great Lane Staley. And it's gonna be a great time. It's being held by Steve-O from Nothing Safe, which is they're amazing friends of ours. We've known them for a little while, and they're all great guys, and it's gonna be a great show.
Cool. And that's at the Crystal Ballroom in Somerville, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. And Joe, I know you're involved as well. Anything you want to say from your side or get out there on the air?
It should be a good event. It's going to be the first time that they do it on the East Coast. They've been doing it for 23 years on the West Coast. And hopefully this is the start of many to come. I'd like to see this happen every year. And and it's like a charity show. So if you buy tickets to the show, it goes to the Lane Staley Memorial Fund. They help people that have struggled with addiction and in recovery and stuff like that. So it's a good night to give back and help out, and then play the awesome music that I grew up on and that influenced me a lot. And as you know, they played in the Alice in Chains band for probably off and on for 20 years. So it should be good.
Oh, yeah. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, Joe was a nutshell for a while before he joined Silent Season. So, but this sounds like a really awesome event. I also see Mistress Carrie from the former WAF is hosting it too. So that's going to be really cool. I might go. I'm going to go check that out. So look forward to seeing that. But I just wanted to call it up because I know you were mentioning other shows and supporting other bands and in the scene and whatnot. So I wanted to just kind of chat through that. So that's exciting. Looking forward to that. But all the shows Under the Horizon's playing though, it's killer. But we gotta. I know I was talking to Mike. We got to do something. We want to start breaking outside of New Hampshire, Boston, maybe Vermont. Connecticut. Maybe we do something in New York together or something like.
Pretty
and
awesome.
bring Temptress and Sepsis, or we do like a 3-4 band bill up and down. We always say this. We got to do something and bring the regional, national, whatever you want to call it, tour on the road, and we could switch rotation each night, and I think that would be pretty killer, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah. So the shows are coming in hot. You guys are busy, and gal, you are very busy. I love that for you. Stay busy. And I know you were working on some new music too. On Matt's show, Matt Connarton's show on Unleash. You were talking about some new music. He was talking about how he was excited to hear the growth and the sound from what you guys were originally doing to like now this heavier infused influence in the music that you're doing. So why don't you talk a little bit about that and your writing and recording process and how that all came about? And new music on the horizon. Please plug it, please.
I mean, I'd say that it's definitely a step up from the first album. I mean, me personally, I am already in love with the second album. It hasn't even come out yet, and I mean, and a lot of the songs on there really strong. They really push, and I feel like they are way more. They present us as musicians a lot more than our first album, I feel. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely an album that people are gonna want to listen to when it comes out, which should be coming out next couple of months coming up. I mean, what are we thinking? February, January, somewhere around there?
We're thinking about 4 months out. So hopefully early 2026. Right now, the album's currently being edited. Izzy and Mike are actually editing the album, and then Tyler Monroe from Scarecrow Hill is going to be mixing the album. So that's another exciting part there.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, we're all really looking forward to the new music. I mean, we say new. We've been playing the music from the album out for a while, but it's because it's like we can't hold it in. We can't gatekeep anymore. We need to let this out into the world. You know what I mean?
Gatekeeping.
Right. We're just so happy with it. We can't. We gotta let people love it too, not just ourselves. You know what I mean?
And Izzy, you must be very excited about all this. Getting new music out coming up, playing a lot of shows. I know you said on the Matt Connarton show, you got college, you got work going on, you got the band. I know that life, sis. I know it. I know it. So much respect.
Thank you. Yeah, it is like is a lot to handle, but I'd say it's all worth it. I think trying to get this album done is like probably one of my top priorities. So, and I'm so excited for when we can actually share it. So, yeah, I'd say it's all worth it. Even though it's stressful, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I give you a lot of credit. I know everyone's busy. Don't get me wrong, but that struck me when you had said that on Matt's show, and I know that life because I was going to college at one point, and I had to make a decision because one of my former bands got an offer to go on the road. It fell through. Luckily, I did not leave college. So stay with school if you can, but still rock out, have fun. I don't want to be the dad type here, but I know that life. I know it. So, but you can always go back if something cool happens.
Yeah.
Always that option. So, but I don't know why it just stuck with me when you had mentioned that on the show, and I just wanted to call that out tonight. But I much respect. It's a lot of work.
Thank
It
you.
is. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. So Jordan, I love what you're saying about the new music and that progression and the plans and are you guys you don't have to share any of your secrets, but like are you doing like a full court press? Are you going to be doing a lot of marketing? Are you thinking about going to radio with it, or just doing some fun things? Anything you can talk about there? Or
I mean, we're definitely going to be heavy on the marketing, I'd say. I mean, it's going to be like the first album in terms of our advertising, but with a bang. I mean, dude, we're going to advertise the hell out of it. And considering we have the experience now and we know how to advertise, it's going to be in people's faces, whether they like it or not. So
I like that.
Sure it's out there, and I mean, we've talked about seeing if we can get it on radio stations, and I know that we've had some songs on the first album be on radio stations before, so we're definitely aiming to have that part of the process as well. But I mean, a lot of it is going to be social media. I mean, that's just what we do. I mean, social media is our baby at this point, so that's definitely going to be a majority of our advertising for sure.
For sure. Yes.
On, Liquid Metal.
Yeah.
Sirius XM. Oh.
Get Jose.
we're working on Sirius XM. We're hoping that with we talked with them in the past on the first album, but it didn't really work out. We weren't really there yet. You know what I mean? Quite frankly, I don't think. But I think now with this, we're gonna, send it home of like, all right, guys, these are the songs, so we would love to. And yeah, we're gonna have it, we're gonna have it on CD and all of that. Maybe even some vinyl, small release, maybe. Who knows? We're looking into that. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, absolutely, huge on the marketing. We are so happy for this album to be coming out and to be out in the world that, I think people are probably going to be asking us to shut up by the end of, the month that it came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Brendan says Liquid Metal. I can hear your voice now, Matt. This is Matt introducing Under the Horizon on the Devil's Dozen. So I see it for y'all. I see it. I think that's awesome. Yeah, definitely keep pushing. We've been there, man. Like, we know how it is. Like, you get those people that say, I like it, but let me see, more. And you just keep growing. You keep pounding, pushing it forward. And, perseverance, it does. It pays off in this business. So, I love that you guys are all about that. And, I think that's great. You have some really good plans going on. And the social media thing that Jordan mentioned too, like we find ourselves in the same boat. Social media, just like the music industry, is very complicated today. I've said this on a couple of the other podcast episodes, but it's like they want you to do social media, aka the managers, the agents, the labels, everyone in the facets of the industry. But then social media companies make it so complicated for the business owners, the musicians, to get the word out there, because now most of these companies are public and they want you to, pay for advertising, so you can't organically reach your fans. So you got to tag people, mention people, top fans people, and they're like, it's overkill, but I'm just trying to get the word out, like you guys are saying, right? So I don't know if you experience any like fan exhaustion, or like anyone's like, oh, what's going on? Like, because we've had people reach out to us and like, I like y'all, but we're seeing too much. Like, so it's a shame what's happened with, I feel like, with social media in a sense. There's some parts of it that are effective, but we find a lot of challenges with it. I don't know how you guys feel, if you're running in any recent challenges with social media by any chance.
It really, here and there. I think most platforms that we use, and we didn't really consider it at first. We use Facebook all the time. And at the time when we formed, we were like, I don't know. Facebook isn't really the place that metal bands are posting on. But after so many, months, we started to realize, like, yeah, this is where you should be posting. Dude, a lot of the bands that we've worked with have actually credited us for having that much of an abundance on their For You page. And yeah, we've definitely had people come and be like, hey, can you stop posting on my For You? But that's also how you get your name out. If they can't run away from you, the only way they're gonna get away is if they at least see one show. Then they can be like, okay, I did my part.
Amen.
To go.
Right.
Yeah.
Either way, dude, I really do think that social media, regardless, whether it's one post or 10,000 posts a day, it always works.
It's important.
Regardless.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that attitude, because like at the beginning when Facebook was starting to like come up and stuff, we were posting a lot, and then all of us were like, oh man, is it too much? And we're not sure. This was before like it became like an arm of your promotion. Like Facebook was just kind of morphing out of that college, only people in college can use the platform. I'm dating myself here, guys. And but then it started becoming that promotional tool. You could put out the post, like it had like a similar MySpace effect to it, and then I'm seeing over the years, like now it's like the bands are like, you know what, we're gonna do our thing. If you like it or not, you can stay with it and come to the shows and be a fan. Or if you're not for it, then just move on. Go to another page or whatever. And I that's what I really appreciate, because you got to do what's right for you as a band, right? And I think sometimes we all get tied up in the minutia of everything, and so we start questioning like, oh man, are we doing the right thing? And I tell my guys, because I'm the social guy, the social media guy in our band, I'm like, you got to just keep hitting them over the head, otherwise they're gonna forget about you.
Every
There's
day.
so many impressions.
Yeah.
Every
You know?
day I get messages from him. Oh, please repost this, repost this.
Well, yeah, people
I'm that guy.
nowadays, like people nowadays have like such short attention spans, so you really gotta just like bombard them.
Right.
Yep.
You're right, Izzy. You're right. It's just the nature of the beast.
Mm.
It is way harder. I mean, and when we had our first couple of shows, we were still doing the post a flyer on the telephone pole and see if
Yeah.
somebody walking down the street comes. But like Izzy said, I mean, their attention spans are so low nowadays. It's like they see them, they're like, "Oh, cool colors," and they walk by. So, now we've started to realize, hey, maybe the 5,000 posts where they can't run away from it is a good thing because now they have to have the attention. I mean, if they see it twice, it's not, they're going to be more inclined to watch it than if they just see, like, I don't know, them walking by or they see it once. I mean, you gotta work with what you're given, and it sucks
Right.
that people can't exactly pay attention, but again, that's what the abundance is for, and you gotta work with what you're given. And thankfully, our social media manager, God bless him, he does his job. He stays up all night, and he's always posting. God bless him.
Nice. That's awesome. It's important to have a team. I mean, having everyone help, it just becomes so more craziness online. You got to be on TikTok, Facebook, X, whatever. It's all these apps. They just keep growing, and now with AI and everything, I just forget about it. It's like
Right.
fist at the sky, more apps, stop.
Right.
So Joe in our band joined about over a year ago now, and he's very active on social media, thank God. And Joe and I are just bouncing off the social posts, and and I think it's contagious. Now, Brendan, you're picking up. I see you resharing more, and yeah, you're doing the stories and stuff, which is cool. And the other guys in the band are definitely like put more into it, which is great because otherwise, if you're not annoying people and get in front of them, they're just gonna, like you said, you're just another, once in a while impression, whatever. I'm moving on to TMZ for whatever. I just, what I'm saying? Like, it's like I'm over it, kind of deal. But so yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. So that makes a lot of sense. And I, kind of switching gears for a quick minute. I wanted to ask this at the beginning, but we were getting right into Swarmy Fest and the shows. I wanted to cover that. Tell me what the meaning behind Under the Horizon. I want to know, and tell the people listening, what is the meaning or the story behind the name? I'm curious.
Depends. Do you want the original meaning or do you want the meaning that it got after our title track? Because
That's
they
like
are
God's
two
name.
completely separate stories.
I'm gonna let Brendan pick it.
Oh, I want both, but that's exactly like our name. Our name, it was definitely for a whole different reason, but Dave came up with this story behind it that made it sound better.
Right.
But oh yeah, what's the real meaning?
All right. I guess so. When we first formed, we started as just doing covers. It was that classic. Oh, kids are playing covers in the basement. And after we started making some of the songs in the first time, we were like, okay, we need to come up with a name. And I as much as I want to remember all of them, it feels like so long ago. It's hard, but I remember we had Just In. I remember that one specifically, and it was big on us being a new generation of music, which kind of still stands with us. We are the not to be egotistical, but the new generation of metal music, and I liked that, but we didn't really feel like it fit that much, and so me being lazy and bored one night, I went onto Google and searched up cool metal names, and it came up with Over the Horizon or Over a Horizon or something. It was just Over, and I was like, that sounds lame. I searched up metal, and we're thinking over, right? Like we're jumping over rainbows, and stars, and the moon and stuff. And I was like, okay, let's change it to Under, because Under sounds gloomy, and I'm sitting under a graveyard, and I'm crying or whatever. Like it sounds metal. And I brought it back to the band, and I was like, hey, what do we think of Under the Horizon? I pulled it off of Google, sort of, but not really, because I changed one letter, one name, or whatever. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's cool. And, we didn't really think it was going to be much, but, now it's here. And, yeah, and then we came up with the font and everything else. But that is the original idea of the name, I guess.
Awesome. That's cool. It's kind of has some similarities in the way we approached it. Like we were all kind of looking up names. I was looking up some basic Google searches, and then I was listening to a Breaking Benjamin song.
Well, you should tell them your reason that you tell people.
I'll get there. I'll get there.
You should do that one first, and then tell the other one.
Wait, is there a reason I'm missing? Are you talking about like the
No, you used to say, because of the music industry and all that.
Oh yeah. Well, no, because it really started with the Breaking Benjamin song. I mean, and then I added the story around it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you this. I'll tell the story. Fair enough, Brendan. The story is the whole thing with our name is silent season. We started during a time where the scene started getting quiet in the sense that venues were closing. There were less hard rock and metal bands coming out, getting signed. Not that we were like completely freshly off the whole Napster thing, but we were a few years out after the whole Napster thing. And we got a doggy on the podcast. What's his or her name? I have to stop. I gotta know.
This is my dog, Puppums. She's an English bulldog. She's the band dog. She, hangs out with us at band practice. Say hi.
We love Puppums.
That is awesome. You guys got a band dog? That's unreal.
Yeah.
That's great. Brendan, Joe, what are we doing? We need a band dog. What the heck?
I got Vinny upstairs.
Under the Horizon, they got their original. They got their own. They got the dog. I feel like we need to change up the animal. Maybe we could do a pygmy goat.
I got chickens.
You do have chickens.
Well, there you go. Band chickens.
Band chickens.
You can have chickens as long as you don't throw them off stage like Alice Cooper. I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. I don't know why pygmy goats. I don't know. I like how they're small. They're not too aggressive. So the silent season pygmy goat, I guess. And then we could bring our pets to the venues if they allow it. We'll just force them. We'll let them. Let's say we're bringing the dog and the pygmy goat, and that's going to be a part of Swarmy Fest. And that adds another element for people to get excited. We can have like our own little petting zoo as part of the show.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
That is different, guys.
It is.
Right?
See, we're thinking of things here.
Personality.
Really on call right now. Let's
We got to get William. Someone call William right now.
Yeah, right.
Who's calling him? For real, that is awesome. Like we can have like a little section off for like people that they're on their VIP tables and come down. $2 to pet the dog and the pygmy goat, or we can have each band can bring their animal.
Right?
Yeah. That would be awesome.
It brings them up.
I completely went way off,
Right.
but it's a good idea, right, Matt? Matt
What?
agrees. Matt agrees this is a good idea.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think it's a great idea. I think having there's because then people can also like if someone's being like a dickhead in the pit or something like that, you go over and pet a dog.
Right, calm them down.
Calm down for a
Time
little
out.
bit, maybe go get a beer or whatever, and then you go break that guy's skull in the pit. Like but it offers a little bit of like, oh, there's a dog here. I'm happy.
You're in marketing, man. I'm in marketing for my profession, for my day job. I know you're in marketing. That's unbelievable. That's how you have to pitch this.
Yeah.
We gotta get Mike on the line. Tell him this is the new idea for Swarmy as well.
Yeah. I'm sure he's listening off in the corner right now, probably sending a message to William right now.
Right, no, it's calling William.
Yeah, right.
We got this idea.
Yeah.
Gonna have a petting
Petting
zoo at the show.
Yeah, right.
And Joe, you have some cats. You could bring the cats. Right? We can keep adding to the list.
Cats and dogs. That's what I got.
Okay, we can contribute dogs. We got to get a pygmy goat. I don't know. We'll have to go to a farm and figure that out, or a shelter or something. I don't know how to even start that process, but we'll figure it out. Anyways, I got way far off on the band name thing. I told you this is a chill conversation. It's chill.
Right.
So
Yeah.
chill, I'm chill. You know, we're all chill. Doing material here. So the silent season name, the whole thing was like the venues were closing. Napster like kind of happened 4 or 5 years before we started this band, maybe a little longer, maybe, but and like not a lot of bands were getting signed. The whole digital downloading thing, MP3, the ripping off of songs was crazy big, and we were like, oh my god, what does this mean for us as a band? Just coming out during a time that was just complete chaos. So we felt like if we spun a story around that with kind of the negativity of things happening in the industry, that might be able to kind of like lead us into a good bio and a good story that we can share with our friends and our fans and whatnot. So that's how that came up. But really, that's the attachment to the first step of this would.
But really,
It's nothing crazy. I was listening to a Breaking Benjamin song. It's called "Sign of Season." I think it's off their second
No.
record.
that's just
Yeah.
a line. It's New Skin.
Oh, is that the lyric in New Skin?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I thought it was called Sign of Season. I don't know. New Skin, Sign of Season, Polyramus, all the same. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. We're friends with Breaking Benjamin. I'm only kidding. So I heard Sign of Season, but I thought they were saying Silent Season. I didn't look at the lyrics right away. I'm like, wait a minute.
I heard
Silent
this
Season.
cool line. It says Silent Season. We're like, oh, that's awesome. And then a year later, we found out it was Sign of Reason.
What? No. You got that wrong, man.
Sign of Reason.
Taproot called this Silent Reason.
No, Sign of Reason.
No, Sign of Season. You want to bet? You want to put money on it?
Yeah. Let's
Uh-oh.
see that, right?
Oh, he's gonna pull it up on the screen. Can you pull it up with 6 people on it?
I might be able to. Hold on.
All right, guys, hold on. We have to do a quick. He's our fact checker, and we always fight on facts, so it's just kind of the thing we do. Maybe now you're worrying me. Sign of Reason, because we played a show with Taproot, our second show at the Middle East, and they called us Silent Reason on the list, not Silent Season. So
There you go.
I thought you were mixing that up with that. But Mr. Fact Checker, let's see it. Under the Horizon is just dying to see what the answer is here.
I know. Feel like, what the fuck are we guys? What are we doing? Where's the lyrics? Oh, I didn't type in lyrics.
Hold on. Sign of the Season
Where? Where do you
at
see
the
that?
top, and it's called A Sign of the Season. What up?
Oh, fuck.
Boom! Shakalaka. I got the facts this time.
Well, you didn't say how much, so it never happened.
Nah, take it down. We want to talk to our special guests. Come on. They're here. They're donating their time. Sorry, guys. We just had to do a quick bet there. And Brendan, I take Venmo, Brendan.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know why we went through all that. That's the whole story behind the name. So every name has a special story, and that's what we go with every time either a radio station asks us or, whatever. And actually, there's more to this. My vocalist and I kicked this whole thing off. We met at a Wendy's, and we were having some. No lie. This is dead serious. We were having some Frosties, some fries. And the band was born from there. I don't know if you have any funny stories you want to share as part of your band or along the way of your inception.
I mean, when me and Izzy first met, me and Izzy met like twice pretty much for the first time. And the first time it was in a battle of the bands. We were actually against each other.
Yeah.
Like our
In
band-
different
Hey
bands.
yo!
yeah, our separate cover bands were competing.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, but I was like, well, the other band when they were on, we were like, well, the band kind of sucks, but the singer's really good. Yeah, and it was Izzy, and
It's
then,
just like
and then eventually,
That's
like,
true.
and then me and Jordan were in a band, and we were getting problems going on, as it is when you have a bunch of 16-year-old kids in a band at the time. We were like, whatever, we're breaking away from this. So then we kind of like merged the people who like were frustrated with their band into one band that we were like, well, we all work together well.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
How long have you guys been together?
About like 2 years.
Oh, 2 years?
Wow.
Yeah, in
Wow.
September
Very
it was
new.
2 years. We've only been playing out for a year, so
Jeez.
No way.
And is
Yeah.
your second album, is that going to be a full length?
Yes.
yes.
Dave,
Oh,
they're
Brad.
beating us.
They're beating it.
We've been together for 17 years.
Oh man. You had to drop the number, didn't you?
I did. We're old.
Well, we got stuck in the whole. We've had some very bad advice over the years from different influences and whatnot. I mean, some good advice. Don't get me wrong, but we were told full lengths is the way to go. EPs are the way to go. LPs, 2 songs, singles. Because of COVID, people want to stay engaged with your music online. You can't go to shows. We've had a mix of feedback, and we did drop a full length back in this was 2012, and some singles before that, and then we did an EP. What, Brendan? 2019 or 17, 19, something like that.
18.
18.
It's 18.
Yeah, we had like what, 6 songs on it.
Yeah, I think it was 6.
The first one had 12, and then after that, COVID hit shortly thereafter. So Spirit Box, all these bands, they started dropping singles, and we're like, oh, maybe we can take something away from that. And where people couldn't go to shows and the venues, and everyone was worried. We wanted to keep dropping songs so we could get hopefully picked up on radio and then online, and keeping the base engaged. I mean, that was the only way we could really do it. That was the only tool that we had in the toolkit, if you will. So what's your take on it, guys and gal? I mean, is it, I know you're doing like the full lengths as you were talking about, like, but do you see yourselves like, were you doing singles at one point, or like, what is your thoughts on the whole process, I guess, of releasing music?
For this next album, our plan is I think it's kind of a mix, is that we are going to release like the songs kind of individually, more just because, like I mentioned earlier, the attention span thing, it's so hard to keep people's attentions. And we see in all sorts of like media formats that, like, when say like a TV show releases the whole season, like people go through it and it's, last week's thought. So we're going to try to space it out so we can kind of keep people's attention, and hopefully they don't forget us.
But I think we are releasing singles, but I do think that overall, as an album, like, if you're a little more, old school and you like to sit down and listen to albums all the way through, then this is also
it will be
fun to do it with, because we like doing that with albums, sitting down, listening to the whole thing as a whole, like, experience, journey, whatever you want to call it. We really wanted to, we wanted to be able to have the songs be singles, but also have it be like a cool experience all the way through that, has ups and downs and, brings you to different places and different vibes and all that. And I think we're able to accomplish that with this record for sure.
That's great. And I think that's important that you said that, Matt, because, you want to take the listener, I know this may sound kind of cliche from my side, or cliche rather, on a journey, but it really is. You want to have them have a tangible, like CDs or vinyl, going back to those crucial days of going to Newberry Comics, or the old school Strawberries, these old stores of music, going and grabbing something, bringing it home, listening to the whole thing. Most of them were concept albums, right? And just like listening to everything and looking at the lyric sheet and looking at the pictures of the band. That is the true definition of rock and roll, in my opinion. And that unfortunately, like as much as there's a lot of cool things in the digital world today of, how to approach music online and selling it online and streaming and all that stuff, you don't really get the full experience of,
Mm.
right, Izzy? Like it's just tough.
No, I love being able to just like sit in my room and put like on a CD and just sit there and listen.
Yeah, right? Or like Jordan, like sitting in the room or like, soloing to music or, just rocking out to one of your favorites, R.I.P. H. Freely. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I get that. I mean, dude, it's hard. It's really hard. And I miss the days where I could, have a group of people over and be like, hey, let's throw on the vinyl, listen to vinyl, or like just let's throw on a whole album and listen to a whole album. Like people just don't want to do it anymore, and it kind of sucks. But again, for the ones who do, God bless them, because we're definitely gonna obviously release them as singles, but at some point down the road, we're gonna release the album as whole. So again, people are gonna have the best of both worlds, and even if they don't like a song that's coming after, but they like the song that comes before, they can just throw on the single. If they want to listen to everything in transition, they got the album. Like some people are like that, and that's a great thing.
Yeah, yeah. And I've said this, like, kind of also going into the whole, thing about MTV getting off the air after like 40 years or something like that. And,
Right.
The whole media thing. And then with the release of music, we don't have really like multimedia companies like MTV and the whole Fuse and VH1 telling us the songs that you should be going to buy or looking at those releases, right? And saying this is the band you need to check out because they're doing crazy awesome things. And again, I know I'm speaking slightly to a younger generation, with my cane out here, but like we grew up with that, like coming home, TRL, Corn would be on TRL, Limp Bizkit, that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and again, other bands too, like the what was that show? Joe and Brendan on late at night, Headbangers Ball, right?
Yeah, Headbangers Ball, and then Fuse.
Fuse, yeah, Fuse
Fuse
was
was a
a
good
thing.
one.
Anyway, where I'm going with this whole thing is just like releasing music has changed slightly in a way, trying to get back to the basics. With the internet, music out there, you don't have people really telling you like, hey, you got to check this band or this music out. You're getting served too many impressions and you're getting fatigued. You're seeing too much, right? So it's like it's harder to connect with people at times and build that audience because a lot of people like, oh, it comes down to a great song, people are going to follow you. But it's, yeah, some of that might be true. It would work many years ago, but now there's too much competition going on. So it's like even with the same thing of releasing music, there's the big media giants are gone and they're not telling people at a mass level what you should be checking out. So we, as all of us as bands and musicians, we have to be our own advocates to release music, give the products to the fans, and then also tell them this is why you need to be listening to this. And it's difficult. I feel like if MTV was still a huge thing right now, or there was a station that pushed more videos, in a sense, just like with music and CDs became a big thing. I was hoping CDs would become a thing again after vinyl. I feel like you're kind of getting back into that old school way of releasing videos and songs, and you get that excitement again. Because right now we're competing with a lot online. There's too many impressions in front of us. I mean, would you all agree with that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that, obviously there's a lot of bands out there, and I think that, obviously everyone's doing their own thing, but in terms of the, getting stuff out there and then showing people, look, you should be, pay attention to us. You know what I mean? We're out here and we're, coming out with this music. We've always been about that, and always been about, showing every single person who's a non-believer, even if they don't like us, they now know the name Under the Horizon, because we, when we first started doing shows and stuff, we had some problems with, people not really wanting to like take us seriously because we were younger.
Mhm.
And I think, and every time we're like, okay, well, see how we do at this show, and then let's see how your opinion changes. And that's always been our thing, is to, prove the non-believers wrong. And then, not to like, be like, haha, we were right, you were wrong, but like, no, like, come on, let's go. Let's all hang out. Let's have fun. We have some great music. We have friends who are doing great music. Let's all play and let's bring it out into the world here. And, but yeah, I definitely agree with the too many viewpoints, too many opinions out there on the internet, and too many different, I think it can get very overwhelming for someone, especially in a genre like metal, where there's, so much different, different subgenres, different kinds of bands. And, you kind of have to like sift through it all, I find, a lot of the times, and figure out, what you're into. So I feel like that's an absolute, huge part of it too.
Matt, great points. And and don't get me wrong. I mean, the ability to go out and kind of do your own research and just look at the bands that you want to go find the bands you want to go listen to, or what is I'm trying to say. And doing some of that is exciting, because always trying to find new music is exciting. That's part of the game, if you will. But it's just as of late, because of the tools and everything that's available to us, independent artists and regional and national, even at that level, with their own recording gear, becoming their own production team, it all becomes more competitive. There's more of the artists out there getting into the limelight, and it's like now bands that like sign with labels that almost kind of like are looked at. It's like, why? You can do it as your own entity. Like you could be your own artist and do everything, which again, pros and cons, that's a whole different topic with DIY. But what I'm saying is it creates this additional competition, right? And now again, I'm not saying I'm an advocate of this, and I don't know how Joe and Brendan feel, but like with the addition of AI with these apps, and people trying to make music and through AI and coming up with fake personas around it, I feel like it's going to become, I know people will be able to read through it for the most part, but it's going to get better over time. People are not going to be able to distinguish that. So that's definitely a bummer. I feel like, I think AI in music is actually a deterrent compared to the other use cases in it. So I guess the competition's going to be there, but it's always trying to figure out how you're going to break out of that. And I'm seeing some of these trends with, like, again, vinyl coming back. There's some other shows coming back. Like, even though MTV was coming off the air, there was like, they were playing, I think it was on MTV. I don't even know if MTV2 still exists, but they were playing some harder music again. And there, Headbangers Ball, I know came off, but they were doing something over the last few years before they went offline. So I don't know. I feel like we need those channels, those mediums. We need that to help metal out. Like you're saying, there's so many subgenres. There's a lot going on. We need people to help kind of create that clarity around what we're doing, because it's just online. You're dealing with the trolls. You're dealing with people that create facades, and all that stuff. And it's hard to break above the noise sometimes. And AI now in this court.
Yeah.
What an AI version of me on stage. Make me look cooler.
Sorry, I don't mean to rant. I know I went off on a long tangent. I like having this discussion with everyone we usually speak to, because it's like a lot of people are battling online. It's like, well, why wouldn't you just do it DIY and do all this stuff you're on your own? It's like, yeah, I guess I can see positives to that. No disrespect, but again, that's like part of the competition thing I'm talking about. Like, anyone can wake up and go do it, and also say that they're a producer and then their own label, and they're but sometimes looking back at the history of things, like record labels do serve a purpose in some instances, like the network that they have that we may not all have, right? And the funding, depending on the deal you sign. you know, there's a lot of good things that still come about that, and a lot of people they just don't understand sometimes. It's like, why won't you just do a DIY for the rest of your life? It's like, you got to be your own bank. You got to have your contacts. It's a lot of work. Not everyone has those connections or those resources, so it's definitely tough. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, you got to have your team. You know, you got to have, you know, the people who are with you. And I mean, thankfully, us as a band, we have an amazing team behind us, you know, with management and photography and road crew and all that. You know, I'm a firm believer in that, you know, you can use as much as, you know, the punk attitude of like, oh, well, there's only 4 of us. We're all packing into my mom's minivan and we're going to rip up this show for 3 people at a VFW. Like, that's great. And like, it's good times, but you gotta, if you want to get out there, you got to get out there. You know what I mean? If you want to walk a mile, you got to step outside.
Right.
And, you know, I think that, you know, pushing yourselves out there and making sure that, you know, even though we are in a world of limited things like MTV or, you know, Headbangers Ball, where there was, you know, millions of kids tuning in every night, you know, to see, you know, oh, what are the hot new metal videos? What are the hot new metal bands coming out? All that. Even though there's a little bit less of that, you got to make it available to, you know, the kids who are, you know, scrolling on Instagram and they're dying to find a new band because they've listened to the same, you know, they've listened to the same music that their dad was listening to at their age. They've listened to all those albums 1,000 times. You got to make it so, you know, if any one of those kids stops and sees, they're like, wait a minute, here's something new that's actually current and still happening, and all the members are still alive. Like, you know, so, you know, I think that making sure that you are known and fighting through all the different challenges and all that, I think it pays off in the end. And I think even in our short time so far as a band, we have been able to, you know, catapult ourselves much farther than we thought we were going to be at when we even started this whole project. And
hell yeah, I love that. Beating up on the algorithm.
Yeah,
you gotta, right?
For sure.
Algorithm is not gonna stop us.
Right. I know that when we first started posting stuff, I mean, dude, like even before people were listening to us, we were getting comments like, wow, like cut your hair, or man, I can't believe that your singer's a woman, or oh, your drummer needs to take a chill pill because the double bass is too crazy or whatever. But we've learned that whether it's a hate comment or an absolute gooning love comment or just a like, you're pushing our algorithm either way. So if you want to bash on us, just go ahead and comment 5,000 posts, because that's only bringing us to the people who care, you know? Like that's what we've learned. And I mean, and it's funny because I'll look on our band page and I'll see somebody is like, I can't believe you guys are playing this gig, and I'll just see on the band account, thanks for pushing us or whatever. And I'm like, great. Yeah, you did push us, so thank you. But you got to beat the algorithm into the ground. And I mean, people do help us, whether they realize it or like it or not. You know, like they help. So
yeah, you're right, absolutely right, Jordan. I mean, beat the algorithm, and then also perhaps feed the trolls in a sense, because they're feeding you guys to get out there. And it's the same happens with us too. Trust me. I'm like, I'll see a weird comment. I'm like, okay, thanks for the support, because then that's going to show up in feeds, right? That's going to show up in other people's feeds. They're going to see it, and when they're scrolling, and you know, I think it's a funny story. We have we have a Facebook group too, old school, and we have like there's like this AI enabled bot in it, and it like said some weird. Joe just left. He was gonna laugh because he saw my comment, but the AI bot was like, "What's your least favorite Silent Season song, and what would make you leave that concert?" or something weird. Brett, I don't know if you saw that post.
I did see that. Yeah.
I was like, "What the heck is this?" And I wrote under it, Go home, AI, you're drunk. And people saw it and some people liked it. So it's like now we're not only fighting the trolls, we're fighting AI bots. So it's like
Right. Yeah.
oh man, the challenges we have to deal with in this century of musicianship, guys. It's like
Right. It's all worth it, though. It's all worth it in the end.
yeah, we love the music, right? Much respect. We
Right.
love the music.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We got to deal with all this unfortunate BS that comes up,
Right.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
got to learn to, roll with the punches, laugh it off your chest, and just know that, them making that comment or whatever is honestly the biggest form of payback you could ever give to them, because all they're doing is, putting you higher up there. You could come up with the, smartest response back, and I'm going to get him back on this one. But all you're doing at that point is making yourself look on the same level. When you respond back with the, thank you for the continuous support, that it's partially true. And also it's the, biggest, jab back that we could give.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I love that about y'all. I mean, I think that's great. I mean, you guys are youthful, right? Youthful, young, and your attitude about it, you're very professional, and you're calm about that. I love that. I think that's great, and that obviously leads to a successful career. And keep doing that. Again, it's kind of weird because I was in your spot and having the feedback to me and like oh, you should do this and that. I don't want to sound like this old guy like you got to do this, but I just think that's great. You having a positive attitude and letting those challenges kind of roll off and don't worry, keep moving ahead. That's the same advice we got as we were growing up into it. And I love that you guys are so new. It's like I thought you guys were around a few more years longer. I mean, like you're killing it for like just about 2 years. That's crazy. That's
Well, that
wild.
show's good too. The
Yeah.
live show? I mean, you got the
Insane.
fro going crazy, and then
Yeah.
you said Ace Frehley earlier. It reminded me of a story. Like, so I actually was watching you guys set. Then I had to go use the restroom. Then I came back, and then Izzy had a bloody mouth. So I'm like, oh, did someone actually hit her?
Oh no! Oh no! Yeah, I thought because I turned around for a second. I looked back and I saw the blood coming down her mouth. I'm like, oh my god, did someone hit her with a headstock or something? Like, oh my god! Oh
Is that
no!
like bass play? Like, is that because of like Gene Simmons or something? Or no?
It was just kind of like a random thing that I've always wanted to do a lot with like stage theatrics.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, or I guess one of my big influences of recently is this band called Jenna Torturers, and she has a whole thing where she gets the audience, like she'll have people actually come up on stage and do random freaky ass shit. So I want to get more into that. Hopefully in the
Nice.
future.
Yeah, you can bring Dave on stage next show.
Yeah, sure, I'll try it. But I was just gonna say, Brendan Gene Simmons. This is Izzy's thing, okay? Or
I mean,
Well,
Gene
this is
Simmons is
Izzy's
awesome,
thing.
but
It just popped in
Right.
my head when he said Ace Frehley. I'm like, oh, that's
I'm
probably
kidding.
why.
I'm kidding. But no, this is Izzy's thing. She's gonna own it, and she's gonna bring that theatrics up for Under the Horizon. Is gonna be known as one of the things there with the blood and the whole theatrics. So I think that's awesome, Izzy.
thank you.
Yeah, that's really cool. I know a lot of people were going crazy, so that was a lot of fun. But hey guys, I know we want to be cognizant of time. I know we're at the top of the hour here, but is there anything else you can share or any updates or anything you want to chat about before we jump off, or just to tell the fans out there that are might be listening?
Yeah, I mean, we're out. We're playing. We got a lot more shows coming up this year, and we're kicking down doors, and we want every single one of you guys to be behind every one of those doors. We want to meet all of you. We want to play for all of you and, take you along on, everything we do as a band. And, we love meeting new people. And, if you like what we're doing, you can follow us on pretty much any social media platform you can find. You can check out show updates, merch, videos, new music, all of that on our website, underthehorizon.org. Yeah, we got, We got tons more shows coming up. So even though it's getting colder, we're not slowing down at all. And
Right.
we can't wait to be doing more stuff.
And I'd
Absolutely.
say stay in tune for the new music.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We are
Nice.
ready. We're ready, and we're coming in strong next year. We're gonna kick some asses. We're gonna take names, and we're ready for everybody to be along for us. Along for the ride.
I love it, guys and gal. Maybe this turns into a tour, the Swarmy Fest tour. Maybe we all rotate. We all go up and down the East Coast. Like, one last thing I wanted to mention. There used to be WAF, the radio station, used to have Local Bazooka. That was a festival in
Right.
Fitchburg, at the airport, and every other year they would turn it into a tour, and they would take the festival and tour down the East Coast. So I said to Will, I said, man, we gotta. Sepsis, this is going to become like it first started as an outdoor festival once it blows up, and then let's tour it. Like let's create a
Right.
tour with all the bands involved, and we can all rotate by the state in the lineup, like in how we order and stuff like that. So maybe Swarmy Fest becomes like a festival / like tour with all of us on it.
Cool.
Yeah,
We would
we
love
have to
that.
make it happen.
Yeah.
Mike, do you hear this?
He says he's on it.
Nice. All right, Mike. Awesome. That would be pretty cool. And aside from that, we all got to play more shows. I mean, we got to do it. It's no excuses. We got to play more shows. We got to, this is going to become a thing, both of us.
Yes. Yeah. We love you guys. Silent Season. We want to do more
Likewise.
shows with you. We've been, every single show. It's like, who do we want there? Silent Season is always a name that's coming up.
Thank
And when
you.
we're talking to other people about other bands in the scene, you guys' name always comes up. We love you guys. We love what you do. We love your show. It's great. And, thank you for having us on your podcast here. This was
course.
amazing.
All right. Yeah, thank you for joining and being a part of this.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for
It was a
having
good
us.
time.
Of course.
Come.
And Under the Horizon, we always hear your name as well. So we got to do more. It's got to be a busy 2026 coming up,
Absolutely.
Brendan, any closing remarks for the podcast or anything else you wanted to bring up on your side?
Nah, I'm good.
Go Bruins. I'm a Celtics guy and Patriots guy. But thank you so much. Really appreciate it, Izzy, Matt, and Jordan. Thank you so much for joining us. And also tell Mike, thank you so much for helping coordinate and getting you guys on as well. And let's do it again. We'll love to have you back on at some point. Let's do the shows. Can't wait to hang with you all at Swarmy Fest. We're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be a blast. Very much looking forward to that. And let's all stay in touch and let's just own this scene. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Looking forward to it.
Likewise. Well, thank you so much. Under the Horizon, appreciate y'all. Have a great night. We'll see you soon in a little under or a little over a week or so. And rock on. All right.
Absolutely. Rock on.
Good night, guys.
Thank you all. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye bye. Thank you. Bye.